Even if you are the most dedicated teacher, your life can't be 100% all about education all the time. You need to be able to spend time with your friends and family, and according to all the happiness experts I've ever heard, you need a third place too. This is a place where you feel welcome, where you can do something enjoyable, and where you can really be yourself. My third places include participating in recreational team sports, enjoying live music at my favorite local spot, and seeing as many parts of the world as possible. My friend Amy Franks has turned her third place into a podcast. A Splash of Color and Equine podcast is a Michigan-based podcast that features horse show topics, trainers' perspectives, and educational opportunities for anyone who is passionate about horses and horse showing. If horses are your third place, if you're currently dabbling in the horse show community, or if you're even just a little bit curious about getting involved with horses, A Splash of Color is the podcast for you. No matter where you are in your equine journey, Amy has a way of making this world accessible to everyone, even to a novice like me. She leverages her years of experience in the horse show world and the knowledge of her guests to give you a glimpse behind the scenes and to see what it takes to get started or to get more involved. Her positivity and inclusiveness will leave you feeling like anyone, including you, can and probably should become part of this vibrant community. You can hear A Splash of Color and Equine podcast on Spotify, and make sure to follow the show on Facebook for even more updates on the horse show community. And now, on with the show. Whether you have been glued to your screen, you've been catching up on the action in your free time, or if you haven't caught a minute of it, wherever you're listening to this, I'm sure you're aware that the Winter Olympics have brought athletes together from all over the world for the last few weeks to see who is the best at a wide variety of cold weather sports. So while I was never even close to a world-class athlete, and most of my best sports were often played in the summer, like many people out there, I love the Olympics for the camaraderie and the competition, for the opportunity to see the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and for the lessons that are just waiting to be learned. This is Lessons We Forgot, and this episode is called Olympics. While I don't watch nearly as much sports as I used to, I still probably watch way more than I should. I especially get sucked in when it's Olympic season. Normally, I couldn't care less about most Olympic sports, but somehow when the pride of one's country is on the line and the whole world is watching, I become one of the biggest fans of some sports that I probably couldn't even name any other time of year. I'd love to see how happy some competitors are just being on the biggest stage in the world, regardless of how they finish. I can't help but share in the joy when someone, after working so hard for so many years, succeeds at the highest possible level. Sometimes it's even more fun, though, to see the families react or an entire community lose their minds when their hometown hero comes through for them. My heart breaks right alongside the athletes whose dreams are crushed when they slip, when they don't quite meet their own high expectations, or when they totally fail with everyone watching. An unexpectedly captivating part of the Olympics for me is watching it all sink in. The raw emotions really get to me. It doesn't always come at the same time for everyone, though. It's easiest to spot right at the end of an event, when someone beats their final opponent or crosses the finish line without anyone in front of them. The joy flashes right across their faces instantly, knowing they have no one else to beat. If you look a little closer, though, you'll see that the emotion often hits the athletes who don't win a little sooner, when the realization hits them that they aren't going to catch the person in front of them, or that the time has all but run out for them and their dream. At that point, they are usually just as overcome with emotion. Sometimes the adrenaline needs to dissipate a bit for some people before the emotions finally hit home. One of those moments is stuck in my head, probably forever. I can't remember the name of the swimmer, but he was on one of those many relay teams with Michael Phelps when the USA won a gold medal. Good luck narrowing that one down if you're trying to actually find the video clip. And the whole team was standing there on the podium. The Star-Spangled Banner began to play, and the team, with hands over hearts, started singing together. Except for that one guy. He tried. It looked like he really did. But then it hit him all at once. The thing that he had been working so hard for so long, had finally come true. He must have remembered all of the things he had given up to achieve his goal. This had been his dream since he was a child, and now his dream had come true. He must have realized that not only was the gold medal he won his forever, but so was the pride that he earned. Except that he could share that. His parents, siblings, teammates, coaches, and anyone else who helped him anywhere along the journey got a piece of that as well. So he didn't sing. He couldn't. He just cried. It was that beautiful kind of cry, when the feelings are so strong that they just become overwhelming in the best possible way. When Michael Phelps noticed him, he gave him a hug and a knowing look that to me said, "Oh yeah, I remember my first time too." We are not on a worldwide stage when we teach, and we aren't given precious medals if we're the best at what we do. I know I say this all the time, but we should remember we're not really competing against one another. But we do work really hard, and we've all put in a lot of long hours to become as good at this as we are. So sometimes just making it to the finish line at the end of the week can bring us a whole lot of joy. It's especially easy to see this at the end of the school year. But I wish we could take a little bit more time to celebrate our victories during the school year. At my school, you can see just how much it means to my colleagues when they are recognized by their peers at a staff meeting or by some other part of the community. It brings us all a little joy knowing that our colleagues recognize that we did so much more than just show up and join the race. Of course, it's not all joy for us during the school year. Sometimes we do slip up. Sometimes we don't meet our own exceedingly high expectations. Sometimes we fail, and maybe more than just a few people see it happen. When it does, we probably notice way before anyone else does. We see our lessons falling apart way before the kids do. We see a parent-teacher conference sliding out of control first. And we see that we're going to finish well behind the pace before we even see the finish line. And for the good and the bad, sometimes we're able to hold back our emotions until the adrenaline has dissipated a little. Only then do we get to feel what really happened. Unlike athletes, our careers are not done after one failure, though, or even after a few. We will get to come back again tomorrow and go for the gold one more time. We might get the same kind of emotional delay when we experience wins in the classroom, too. When we really nail it, when we deepen a connection, or when we record a personal record of our own. Our feelings might not register at first, and we probably don't have time to dwell on them anyway. We've got other things to get to. No one has time to stand on a podium here at school and take credit for putting in a gold medal performance. But I hope that when the adrenaline has left your system, from this week or even at the end of the year, that you are able to reflect on what you have accomplished. Though no anthem will be playing, I hope you get to think back on all of the hard work you put in over the years to get here. That you get to acknowledge not only all of the things that you had to give up to do this, but also that you remember all of the people who helped you get here, who no doubt have pride in being a part of your success, because that's something you get to share with all of them. And I hope you don't mind letting that feeling wash over you, though it might be a little overwhelming at first, especially if it's your first time. When you do, it might be nice to have someone with a little more experience there to offer you a hug and a knowing smile. Hopefully it takes them back and helps them remember the first time when the things they worked so hard for finally came true. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Lessons We Forgot. I'm the host, Chris Winkle. You can contact me at lessonsweforgot@gmail.com, and you can follow the show or message Lessons We Forgot on Facebook. Either way, I'd love to hear from you and welcome you to our community. If you really enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with a friend. That is the best way to help grow the podcast. If you want to hear more Lessons We Forgot, I post new episodes on Sunday nights. Make sure you subscribe to follow the show on whatever podcast platform you use. And when you rate the show, like an episode, or leave a comment, we can reach even more listeners. If you hate ads just like me, I do have a Patreon site, patreon.com/lessonsweforgot, and for only $1 a month, you can get the show without ads. You can try that out right now for free to see if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks again for your support.